When we're talking about state, and here's a link to the author of this state in Twitter, Katalin Kita, and he basically represented a common question that basically many of you probably have already seen, that, okay, how should I better represent my state? Should the state be just like as option A with a monolithic state that, okay, we have items, we have loading, not loading, error, and stuff like that? Or should it be created in the mutually exclusive states, like type P, again, success, error, loading, or maybe it should be something else at all? And I've seen that implementation as well, especially in the VVM pattern, when we have granular states with state of one element, state of another element, and stuff like that. And there was a big, basically, Twitter thread where people discussed, okay, should we prefer ABC? And do you know what was the answer? You can try guessing. And I know that we have 20 seconds, 30 seconds ping. So I'll wait a bit. Hopefully.
Does it depend? the ultimate answer, yeah. It depends, yes.
That's true. And basically, the Twitter thread kind of shown the same, that there are many different people, there are many different approaches, and each of them has their own basic advantages and disadvantages. For example, with mutually exclusive state, you will get the situation that it will be pretty much verbose, and you will have to have this when statements like everywhere, and to have some duplicated code in different when statements. With option A, you can get some states that are technically should be impossible, that you have, for example, both items, loading true and error true. Probably you don't expect to see that in your app, but because this basically state is structured in this way, technically it is possible. And as usual, there is no silver bullet. And just to show you basically how can an MVU feature look like, I've got an open source project. I think that we will send the link after this talk basically to chat, or we'll attach it to the YouTube page. But basically, there is an app called Movies feature based on this Helm architecture or based on this MVU approach. And again, when you're creating a feature based on MVU approach, the important part, and probably the biggest difference with like MVVM or MVP, is that again, you have a clear state. For example, here I have gone with that type A of the state. Okay, we have this loading, we have movies, we have some message. For example, this start typing in a search bar to find a movie. This is basically a message, and stuff like that. And then basically, the important part is that Vue always is able to show basically whatever is your state just by looking at the state. And if we will check out the movies fragment, we see that this render function, it basically gets a state. And this is it. Whatever is state at this moment, the view will be in that state. If the state shows, for example, that it is loading, or that my emulator doesn't want to work, you'll probably see it in state as well. But if there would be a list of movies, that's what I would expect here, then you would see that, okay, basically our state contains the list, and basically next time when the view renders itself, we would see the list. There are messages, again, actions, intents in MVI and stuff like that. And these messages, again, tell us that search updated, movie clicked, and stuff like that. And there is this important part that is logic. And we have an update function, and update function is, again, a pure function. So update function gets us a new message that, for example, something was clicked. It gets us previous state, and as a result, it provides a new state that, for example, we show a loading, and we want to make a network request. Basically, when update function finishes, we have the comments, and these comments, we have the same rule for them as for views. So basically, they should be as simple as possible. So we don't have to test them, basically. It just gets like, okay, repository search movies. And again, it provides the response to the update function. And class of dependencies is just basically whatever is required for comments to work. And that's basically it. And if you're interested in, again, like checking out a simple MVU example, I have a project when I have this written as an MVU, I have it written as a view model, basically the MVVM style, and you can check it out when you have a chance if you're interested in. Thank you. And on this note, let's continue with MVI and how do we structure models